Good morning, good morning. How is everybody this morning? People are starting to join in right now. How are you? Today is cooking homemade chili. I hope everybody had a good night's sleep last night. It's early in the morning to make chili, but we want to make it early so it can simmer. So let's get started. All right, so take one large onion and chop it up, just like that, okay? Take one large onion and you chop it up. Get it all chopped up. There you go, nice and neat. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to take a pot. Hello, good morning. I'm gonna take a pot, a big pot, because that's what I want my chili to be in. I'm gonna turn the stove on. Kind of a little low simmer. This burner's not working. We're gonna try this one over here. Okay. All right, so taking a large pot, and I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil into the pot, maybe about a tablespoon. You don't want too much. About a tablespoon of olive oil. So you have that in, and then here's all my chopped onions. So I want to take the chopped onions. I don't have my sous chef with me, so I'm doing this by myself. Okay, let's see if I can set that right there. Take the chopped onions. Oops, I spilt. It's all right. Be a messy chef. And put it in the pot. We're gonna simmer those onions in the pot, okay? Next I wanna do, now I like to mix my meats, okay? I like to do hamburger, ground beef, and I like to do ground turkey. Now if you don't want to eat the beef, you can just do ground turkey, or you can just do it without any meat whatsoever. But I'm going to mix my ground beef and my turkey together, and I'm doing about 1 pound each. So I'm going to put that in with my onion, okay? Get my glasses out. I'm going to ground all this together. Hope everybody had a nice evening, slept well last night. Yes, good morning. I'm so glad you're tuning in. So what we've done so far is we've taken one large yellow onion and we chopped it up. And I'm taking my 1 pound of ground beef, and I'm mixing it with 1 pound of turkey, and I'm simmering it in the pot, all together, just like that. So mix it all up, and you're gonna get that all nice and brown, okay? That takes a little bit of while. Mix it all together. All right, so you just wanna leave that simmering over there for a while, and keep going back and forth and checking it to see how brown it is getting. All right, so in the meantime, if you have fresh garlic cloves, chop about 3 of those up. If you don't have fresh garlic cloves, that's okay. So finely chop those up. I love fresh garlic in almost every dish I make. Not my baking dishes, but you know, soups, Italian dishes, all that. So chop some fresh garlic if you have it. If not, it's okay. You can use garlic powder. So if you don't have this, put about, I'd say maybe a tablespoon of garlic powder in with the mixture. Okay, so there is my, I'm gonna go put that into the pot. Okay, that's in there. So all I'm doing right now is I wanna get this meat all nice and brown. And again, I used a pound of hamburger. You can see where it's getting brown. And a pound of turkey. I mixed the two together because I like the flavor it gets. So I'm going to put my heat just a little bit higher. Okay. So how's everybody doing today? This is going to make a nice dinner tonight. You want to make it early in the morning because the longer it simmers, the more the flavor comes out. So that's why we're making this really bright and early in the morning. Okay. But that's just got to simmer. I have it pretty much on a high heat. Okay. Now let's go through the rest of the ingredients you're going to need this morning. You're going to need some chili powder, black pepper. This crushed red pepper is optional. You do not have to have it, but if you want it a little bit more spicy, you want that. Now garlic salt, okay? Have some garlic salt if you don't have fresh garlic. Some tomatoes. So let's go ahead while that's browning and let's cut up our tomatoes. Okay. And you want to cut them up. Just kind of slice them like that. And then I go this way. And you can cut them however you like. I like mine just a little bit more chunkier. I don't like them too fine. Okay, just slice those up. Okay, there's one. I'm gonna do two. You can have more tomatoes if you want. That's what I love about cooking. Kind of just play with your ingredients. You can add a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever you have in the kitchen at the time. And don't worry if you don't have all the ingredients. It's okay. It's going to turn out great. And even when it simmers, let's just say you're simmering it for a day or two, you can always run out and add some ingredients if they were sold out at the store and add them later. Hello, good morning, Candy. How are you? So if you're just joining us, what we've done so far is we took one large yellow onion and we chopped it up. And then we took our 1 pound of ground beef, and I mixed turkey with mine today. Or if you just have turkey, you can do turkey, or if you have Italian sausage, whatever meat you would like. And we are browning. Wash my hands now. Let's go check out and see how our meat is coming and being browned. Okay, looking good. Can you see that? All nice and brown with the onions. So I actually mix my ground beef with my turkey, with my ground turkey. I like the mixture of the two together. Some people like to just do turkey chili, and that's great. I've seen people do it with Italian sausage. You know, good morning, if you're just joining us. So that's browning. Now I have my tomatoes all cut up, and I'm going to set this aside because we're going to need that in a little bit. So those tomatoes are all cut up. Let's keep going through. This is another spice we're going to use today. Good morning. Hello, Shelly. How are you doing? We're making homemade chili. Mm-hmm. We're going to need a can of tomato sauce. We're going to need a couple cans of kidney beans. And if you don't have the beans, that's okay. You can go out and grab them later. We're going to need a little bit of sugar, a little bit of tomato paste. All right, and we got our fresh garlic. So that is browning. Let's go check it out. This is what takes the time, is to get this all nice and brown together. And again, the reason we're making it so early in the morning is that because you want the flavors and the spices to all simmer on a very low heat all day long. That's looking pretty darn good. And You can always do, with your chili, add some chopped onions and some sour cream and some shredded cheddar cheese as your toppings. So you definitely want to do that. Okay, so as that is browning, let's go ahead and do 2.5 tablespoons. 2.5 tablespoons. So get your spoons out here. Okay. I'm going to do 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder, and we're going to put that in with the meat right now. So, sorry, my sous chef Avery is sound asleep this morning, so it's all me, so I'm back and forth here. So, 2, and just mix that in. 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder. Once you get that in, I want you to stir it all up so that chili powder mixes really well. You can see how I put it in there. Oops. Sorry, I lost you. Put it in there. And I mix it all together. And I can already start smelling that it smells like chili. Okay. And that's getting really nice and brown. I can already smell the aroma. It's so good. Okay, next, 2 tablespoons of the cayenne. So take this spice right here. And if you don't have this spice, a lot of people do not have this, that's okay. There's a lot of this at the grocery store. So you can go out and get this and put this in later. 2 tablespoons. So let's put that in. Back and forth. Okay, there you go. There's 1, 2. Gonna add just a little bit extra. And then you're gonna mix that new spice. Oh, it smells so good all together. Make sure your meat is all chopped up. See how that's simmering? Perfect. Okay, there you go. All right, so next, let's do a tablespoon of sugar, just 1 tablespoon of sugar. And we will have this all uploaded on our YouTube channel later, so if you're joining us late, I'm gonna add just a little bit of sugar, spoonful of sugar. Okay. So you want to get your tomato paste. Right there. I gotta get a can opener. Can opener. And you're gonna do 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So just 2 tablespoons. Take that off. Okay. My sous chef Avery is sound asleep, so it's kind of hard. Hi, Leslie, just joining us. Everybody's joining us. Hope everybody had a good night's sleep last night. Okay, take your measuring. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Let's go back over to our pot. There you go. And just dip it in. And I always do a little bit extra. Put it right in your pot. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and then it's in there. And now we're gonna mix that tomato paste in. Oh, I can smell the aroma already. Makes it really good. Lots of things to add. Okay. Now, if you don't have fresh garlic, I've already added my fresh garlic. You can do 1 teaspoon of garlic salt or garlic powder. So you can add that right now. But I did fresh garlic. I did about 3 to 4 cloves. I love fresh garlic, so I took fresh garlic, cloves, and I chopped it up and I put those in. But if you don't have that, garlic salt or garlic powder will work. Then you want to take a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm sorry, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And let's go put that in. And you also want to do about a teaspoon of pepper. So a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay. And I always guess on the salt, so you don't have to use a lot of salt because there's a lot of flavor that's in here. So, and you don't need to use salt at all. A lot of people don't like to use salt. You do not have to. So just a little bit, I'd say a teaspoon and a half of salt. And then the pepper, I do quite a bit of pepper. I mean, I love pepper and I just kind of play with it. I don't even measure it out. So if you're measuring it, I would say about a teaspoon of pepper, but I just kind of play with it as I go. And then I always go back and I add just a little bit more. I taste it because I love ground pepper. So I don't really measure this out. Okay? Kind of play with it like that. There you go. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my can of tomato sauce. If you don't have tomato sauce, you can use a tomato puree. But I'm using a can of tomato sauce, and I'm putting this whole can inside of my pot. All right. There you go. Get over here. Back and forth. Okay. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit because my meat is all brown, so I'm going to put it like on a low simmer now. I'm mixing that all together. Whoops! I splattered. I just got it all over. I told you I'm a messy cook. Oh my goodness, it's all over my phone. Okay, I am a messy cook. But it turns out great and the flavor tastes great. All right. Oh boy, I made a mess. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Next, I'm going to take 1.5 cups of beef broth. So 1.5 cups of beef broth. So open that up. And some people use chicken broth. Some people don't want to use the beef broth, so they use the chicken broth. Okay. But we're using beef today. So put that over there. Let me put this down. So your pot should be on a simmer right now. Right? Back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So about 1.5 cups. You can even add 2 cups if you want. Measurements don't have to be perfect because it turns out it's just like a guesstimate. And I mix that all together. And that's getting a really good consistency right now. There you go. Okay, so we have all that in. There you go. I know, I made a mess. I splattered all over. Okay, next I'm gonna do 2 cans of kidney beans. And some people don't like beans in their chili. You don't have, look at my glasses. They are full of chili. Messy cook. All right. So I'm going to open this up. I need those on right now. And we're going to put our kidney beans with the liquid. I'm not going to drain the liquid. I'm going to keep the liquid in because I want that liquid to go into our chili. Chili is good for the soul. It's a comfort food. I think we all need comfort food during this challenging time we're facing in our life. But we will survive and get through it. I know we will. We'll stick together, right? Okay. All right. Back and forth, because sous chef Avery is sound asleep. And dump my beans in. 1. And you can add as many beans as you want. If you're not using meat at all, you might want to add 4 cans of beans. Again, just play with your recipe. There you go. Perfect. All right, have that in. Now, the last thing, let's see, we're gonna do, remember all the tomatoes we diced up, the fresh tomatoes. See? I took 2 tomatoes. I'm gonna put those inside my pot. Now, the important thing is when you're making any dish is to play with your spices. As the day goes on, you wanna test your chili. See, I'm mixing everything together right there. Okay. All right, now we get a little spoon and I want to taste it. So far, see what we have. Oh, that is really good. Already, it's really good. And look how fast we made that chili. That was really good. Now, if you like it spicy, add some crushed pepper. You can add some Tabasco sauce. Play with the pepper. You can add more chili. Let me get more chili powder if you want a little bit more spicy. Throughout the day, that's why you want to make this real early in the morning, because you let it simmer and then you taste it throughout the day. You might need to add a little bit more salt, not too much salt because salt's not that good for you, but I like to add a lot more pepper. It gives it flavor. I might even add a couple more cloves of garlic to bring out the flavor. Okay? You can play with your chili powder on how hot you really want it. If you really want it hot and spicy, like I said, add some fresh crushed pepper to it or a little bit of Tabasco sauce. So I'm gonna have it simmer all day, and then we're gonna have chili tonight for dinner. And you can top it with some grated cheese, cheddar cheese, some sour cream, some chopped up onions, however you wanna garnish your chili. Maybe make some cornbread on the side and serve that with your chili. But it's so easy to make chili. So let's go through what we did as far as our ingredients and break it down. So the first thing I did, I started with 1 large yellow onion and I chopped it up really nice and fine. And then I took my meats, and I like to mix my meats. You do not have to do this, but I took a pound of ground beef and I also took a pound of turkey meat. You can maybe make a turkey chili, leave out the ground beef, or you can even make a chicken chili and get ground up chicken. Or you can make it with no meat, so you don't need the meat. But I made it with meat today. So I took a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon of olive oil, and I took my onions and I first browned those a little bit, and then I added my pound of ground beef and my pound of ground turkey. And then I mixed that all together, okay? And I browned it. Made sure it got nice and brown and cooked nice through. Then I took my chili powder, and that was my next spice I added, and I did 2.5 tablespoons of my chili powder. So I did that. And the next one, let me go grab it. Coming in, I added this. And if you don't have this, a lot of people don't have this in your house. There's lots of this in the grocery store. And it's ground C-U-M-I-N. So go and get this today if you don't have it, and you can add it whenever you are able to pick it up at the grocery store. And I added 2 tablespoons of this. Then I added a tablespoon of sugar, but you can play with this. Sometimes I might go back in the afternoon and add another tablespoon of sugar, depending on the taste. All right, so you can always just play with your ingredients. I did the 3 to 4 cloves of fresh garlic cut up, but if you don't have that, then do a tablespoon of garlic. I'm sorry, a teaspoon. A teaspoon? No, do a tablespoon. You need garlic, sorry. Do 1 tablespoon of either garlic salt or garlic powder. If you want it really spicy, you can do your crushed pepper. I added 1.5 teaspoons of salt and about, I'd say, 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, but I play with my pepper throughout the day, so I like a lot of pepper. Then I added, let me get it. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and they have this in the grocery store. There's lots of tomato paste, so I added that. Then I did 1.5 cups to 2 cups of beef broth. So 1.5 to 2 cups. So start with 1.5. If you want it a little bit more of a liquid kind of chili instead of a chunky chili, then add another 1/2 cup of that. I added 1 large can of tomato sauce. If you don't have tomato sauce, you can do tomato puree. That works just great. And last, I did 2 cans of the kidney beans. Some people don't like beans, so they don't want to add beans to their chili, and that's okay. But I added 2 cans. If you're just doing a vegetarian, maybe just add 4 cans of beans instead of the 2 cans. But you can play with as many beans as you want. If you want to add more cans of beans, that's like how I cook. I kind of go how I like the look of it, the texture of it, and the taste of it. So I don't match my ingredients perfectly, and that's okay. I might add something later. I might think, okay, this will taste really good, so let me add this in. So just kind of play when you're cooking with your ingredients. It doesn't have to be perfect because it always ends up tasting fantastic. So there you go. So we made chili today, and now we're gonna have it simmer all day long. Take lots of pictures of your chili and your family eating your chili tonight, and please send them to me. I would love to have these photos to see how your chili turned out. And message me and let me know what you think. But that's our chili for today. Tomorrow night we are going to make, actually probably in the afternoon and put it aside because I'll set the time. We're going to make a homemade chicken parmesan tomorrow. So that will be on our menu for our cooking show tomorrow is homemade chicken parmesan. All right, that'll be a good meal for dinner tomorrow night. So get your recipe. Remember, we made our homemade pasta sauce. You need to have your homemade pasta sauce ready. That we had our cooking class on how to make your homemade pasta sauce. It was very easy. I'll tell you really quickly. Olive oil, 1 large yellow onion. You're going to chop it up fine. Take your onion, make sure it all gets like almost like a puree in the stove on top. You want to do that. Let it all simmer and it gets nice and mushy. Then you're going to take 4 cans of tomato puree. 4 cans, 4 large cans. Let me see if I have one here. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I do. Okay. 4 cans of tomato puree. Take 4 large cans of that. Chester's barking. Hi, Chester, are you waking up? Chester slept in today. So 4 large cans of this, and you're going to put it in your pot. Then you're going to take a big bunch of fresh basil and chop it up fine, really, really fine. Put that in your pot with your tomato puree and your 1 large onion. And you're going to take Italian seasonings and a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and lots of fresh garlic cloves chopped up. And let that simmer all day. So there's your homemade pasta sauce. So get that ready for tomorrow, because mine's ready. I have mine still from the other day. I put it in the freezer. You can freeze your pasta sauce and then take it back out. And it's amazing. So we'll make homemade chicken parmesan tomorrow for dinner. Okay? Hope everybody had great on our cooking show today. Do not forget, we have all online live classes at Dance Studio 111. We are working through some technical difficulties our first week, but that's okay. We'll get it all worked out, I promise you, and more new and exciting things coming to Dance Studio 111. And tonight at 8 o'clock is our nightly cozy bedtime story time with Miss Kimberly and Chester Westchester. So tune in for that at 8 o'clock tonight. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you enjoy your homemade chili tonight. Again, take lots of pictures and send to me because it keeps me connected with you. Take care. Have a great day. Make it fabulous. Bye-bye.